Welcome to SEC Football Live here on the 440 Sports Network, brought to you by ML Rose and their brand new badass location in East Nashville that we and my wife, my kids have already enjoyed. I am Braden Gall. Good to talk to you all. And that is Chris Childers live from the ATL at SEC Media Days. Chris, come on, you Gunners. What's up, man?
Look at you. I love that. Hi, how are you? In Atlanta, it's nice and warm and toasty, and lots of people have been coming and going the last 4 days talking about all their expectations and hopes and dreams. And it's good to see in camo. I've never seen camo on you.
It's funny you say that. If you're watching on YouTube, thumbs up. Notifications turned on.
Yes.
It's a shout out to Howler Brothers, which is a company I am like
Yeah.
very very loyal to. I bought 4 of these.
I
Like
love
they're
it.
like they're like super lightweight. They're like summer
Yeah.
hoodies for like
Yeah.
fishing. We're going the wife and the kids. We're going to go to we're going to be driving through Huntington, West Virginia, by the way. So we're going to stop and see the Marshall Stadium
Hmm.
on our vacation coming up this week. So no show next week. Shout out to ML Rose. Thanks for letting us go on vacation. But I bought a bunch of them for training camp for Titans and for Vanderbilt
Yeah, they're
because
awesome.
you're standing outside. First time I've ever owned anything in camo. My wife freaking hates it.
Why?
Hates it.
Why?
Like camo's not a good look on unless you're actually using it for what it's for.
I don't
You know?
know. You're a rugged man. You can, I think,
Do,
I kind of like it. I mean, I
do,
think it's cool.
do you like camo uniforms as like third jerseys?
Yes.
Oh God,
I
stop
like
it.
camo.
What about pink?
If it's for breast cancer awareness, then yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. But I just think I think all of I just think it makes,
I'm
I
more
bought this because it was the only other color. So
yeah, I'm more pro camo than your wife. We'll put it that way.
okay.
I think it looks cool. I remember like it's like, look at you. It's awesome. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I
Love it.
want to ask you. I want to ask about storylines. I want to ask about your predictions for media days. I want to ask about what actually happened down there. All kinds of interesting stuff that we're going to get to. But again, ML Rose, if you're in the Nashville area, 7 great locations. And it is in East Nashville. It is one of the best places to already watch sports. Full stop. And
Mhm.
there might be some Arsenal EPL stuff coming in the fall. So just
Yes.
stay tuned for that. So we're working on that.
I love that.
It's in the works. I want to know what the biggest actual football story was this week while you're there in Atlanta. Many distinguished dignitaries running around and yapping and flapping their gums. I am curious, like, what was the thing that caught your attention and became on the field the most interesting storyline?
The most interesting on the field. So aside from like the playoff talk and all that kind of stuff,
That's all
I
off the
think it
field.
would be Alabama.
Nick Saban returning is off the field.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
think it would be Alabama. I think it would be the fact that the body language of Kalen DeBoer when it came to talking about Ty Simpson was really positive. I mean, there's a reason seemingly they didn't go to the portal. There is a reason that he named him the starter after the spring and said, if we were to play today, he's our guy. I think he looks at Ty Simpson as a guy who fits what him and Ryan Grubb want to do. He kind of had this completely different vibe from a year ago. It was like he was confident they were going to be pretty good. Now we'll see, obviously, but Kalen DeBoer has won a lot of games. And when he has guys that fit his system with Ryan Grubb, who's back from the Seahawks, pretty good. We saw what Michael Penix. I mean, I'm in Atlanta. I'm staring right now at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and Penix is their starter, right? Like he went number 8 in the draft, and they were so impressed with him that they spent millions of dollars on Kirk Cousins and still drafted Michael Penix, which looks like a pretty good idea. That's Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb's DNA. That's the guy. So I think because of it, at least from what I was picking up, it seems like a lot of people are thinking Alabama is going to be almost the forgotten team, which is weird to say, but almost the forgotten heavyweight that could be a national championship caliber team.
I like
And the
Alabama a
other
lot.
thing was Arch. It was just Arch
Wow.
fever.
Well, and that's almost both on and off the field, right?
Yeah.
Like I was going to ask who is the biggest scrum, and I assume it's Arch Manning
It
1,
wasn't even close. It,
Diego
it
Pavia
was
2, Diego Pavia.
Pavia was probably the second biggest. Yeah. But for Arch Manning, it was which Diego Pavia, the Vanderbilt quarterback, getting the second biggest scrum at media day is
Spectacular.
super notable. Like that's unheard of and never happened. Even like Jay Cutler didn't have people hovered around him like Diego Pavia, which just kind of shows the personality matches the level of play for Diego Pavia because he's an interesting cat. Um, but yeah, I mean, you look at Arch Manning, and it was people wanted to touch a Manning. They wanted to be around a Manning. It's oh my God, your uncle's Peyton. Can I take a selfie? And Arch is just like, I haven't done anything. Nothing has been done. I've accomplished nothing. My name's Manning. And at least they get it. At least the people that are behind it, they understand he hasn't done anything. So they can let everybody talk.
He's got the right approach, it seems like.
Yes, exactly. He does have the right approach.
Yeah. Well, off the field, it seems like the biggest storyline, at least the beginning, was fabricated by a radio host who we both know quite well. Greg McElroy decides to float that people in the know have a feeling that Nick Saban might want to return for to coach. And, you know, look, it kind of gets legs. SEC Media Days kind of has a tail wagging the dog kind of element. Like the algorithm kind of wags the conversation to some degree. And I mean, look, he played quarterback for Saban. He knows that if he says it, people are gonna gravitate towards it. So much so that three of the most high profile coaches in the country, Lane Kiffin, Brian Kelly, Kirby Smart, all have to comment on it. I don't think there's any validity to the story, although I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Saban had the itch to get back in. I think we should be talking more about Urban Meyer having the itch to get back in, if we were going to be honest about it. He's 61 years old. Here's my question, though, to you that has nothing really to do with media days. If Nick Saban is coming back to coaching and it's in the SEC, there is only one story above all stories that would make it the best possible story. I have my idea of what that is. Is it not Hugh Freeze, who's on the hot seat?
Yeah.
Now, I forget about the fact that I think Auburn's going to be pretty good, but let's say he gets fired at the end of the year. Nick Saban coming back to Auburn and Urban Meyer going to Bama is the greatest college football SEC story ever told, is it not?
It would be borderline erotic, to quote Brett Bielema from several years ago after they won the Texas Bowl. It's the South in a nutshell. It would be the Jerry Springer show in football. They did a documentary on Netflix. And they drew the Jerry Springer triangle of where 90% of the guests came from, right through the heart of the SEC. Right through the heart of it.
Oh, you mean like the actual Springer show?
Oh, yeah. They called it the Springer Triangle, and it was right through the heart of the SEC. Had it not been for the SEC, the Jerry Springer show never would have existed.
Did it go up into like Ohio and Pennsylvania? Like the tip of the triangle?
West Virginia. Oh, yeah. It hit all the good spots, trust me.
That's where I'm going to be. That's where I'm going to be this weekend.
But that's what it would feel like with Alabama and Auburn. It would be the greatest. But I just think if Nick Saban were to coach, it would be in the NFL. I don't know why he would coach college football, because he left college football for a reason.
What was the conversation off the record? Like, was it a lot of just eye rolling when you guys are asked, like, hey, man, what's the deal with Saban? And everybody's just like,
everybody rolls their eyes about everything. Whether it's the nine games or the 5-11 or whatever, because these things have become almost somewhat political rallies to get your message across.
Yeah.
You know, to get like, this is where we stand. And Sankey seemingly changed his mind this week. You know, he kind of like said, well, I'm open to the 9 games. Well, your coaches aren't. And
half of them aren't. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is he realizes that Tony Petitti's he's not budging. They're at 9. He's not. So he, to me, has lost. He's gonna surrender to Petitti.
Well, didn't you and I talk about this? And maybe I was somebody else on the show, where we are in a place where if the Big Ten won't budge on the pay for play participation trophy automatic qualifier garbage, that the Big Ten wants to buy its way into the playoff, and the SEC wants to stay at 8 games. Didn't we talk about how like this is one of the few times where if they just compromise and the SEC, because I think that's all this is from the Big Ten and Petitti. I think they are holding the automatic qualifier hostage. They're holding the playoff hostage to get what they want out of the SEC, which is 9 conference games. And they're going to go to 9 conference games eventually because it will make more money.
More money, yeah.
I don't know. Like, to me, that's the obvious compromise that actually is good for football.
It is really good for football, but it shows you that the power is in the Big Ten. Like, Sankey usually doesn't. It is. Trust me.
The Big Ten has fabricated a thing about the playoff that nobody wants. Nobody wants
this. The Big Ten can do whatever they want to, because until the House, so the House settlement is changing things, but you can tell there's going to be a lot of lawsuits and litigation. The power is in the North right now. It is. The power is in the North. They have the upper hand. They do. I'm telling you, there is a reason that they've won the last 2 championships.
They have the hand. No, they have lots of money, but they have
boosters.
They have equal power of voting. And so therefore all this
I
comes
get
down
it,
to
but they're going to force the SEC to play ball.
sure. I no, I agree with you on
That's what
that.
I'm saying. That's
I
what
agree
I'm
with you on
saying
that.
is that Sankey has never been second best until now.
Well, they're even because they both have control over the
But
vote.
that even makes him feel like he's second best because he was king.
Oh, you were
And I
talking
know
to
it bothers.
talking about his
It bothers.
feelings.
Where's he at? Is he lurking? He
he's always
lurks.
he's always
He's
lurking.
always lurking. He might be around
He's
like
in like a lobby just playing on his phone at night,
he's always and then he just kind of I think he just listens to what everybody's saying.
I know. I've walked up to him before in the lobby at media days and just been like, hey Greg, how you just are you what kind of books are you reading? Because he's always reading a book, a leadership
Yeah, I
book
know.
or
I
whatever.
know. Some Clay
He's
Travis book about how to take
that's
back the country.
fascinating dude.
He read
Off the
that.
off the field, is it like is it just the 9 games in the playoff expansion and the format? Is that the thing that people
It's
are
all in
talking?
anybody. Everybody's talking about the playoff. Everybody's
Yeah.
talking about the House settlement, what it looks like. There's a lot of talk, at least amongst ourselves, about state legislation, like state legislatures and how we just had the Missouri kids today, and their state legislature has been super involved in giving them an advantage. And they were kind of one of the first ones to do it. In our state of Tennessee, in Nashville, where the capital is, um, same thing's been going on, where they've been trying to give Tennessee an advantage in, House settlement be damned. This is the law, so to hell with what the NCAA says. And I know there's been all kinds of, well, we're not going to play you then. We're going to keep bull crap. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think this is a giant game of chicken. But there's
Yeah.
different games of chicken being played all at once. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what everybody's talking about is
Oh, I see what you
who's
did there.
going to, who's going to concede, right? Who's going to
This is
do
it's 50 senators versus 50 senators. That's what it is. Like
100%.
that's what it is.
That's what it is. You're right.
I,
That's exactly what it is.
how about this? So the
Where's
Athlon Mag
Phil? Where's Phil a Buster?
or what was the guy? What was the guy from
Was it
what was
dumb dad joke?
where's Big Balls
Oh,
from Doge?
yes.
He could just streamline the playoff process for us.
100%.
So here's what. So Athlon Sports Magazine is out on newsstands. Please go purchase it. Go to MO Rose for some great local beers and burgers as well. 7 great locations all across the Middle Tennessee area. And a great place to watch soccer, no question about it. And college football, SEC sandwich on Saturday mornings, happy hours at nights, trivia, all kinds of
What's
great
the
stuff.
SEC sandwich?
It is a sausage, egg, and cheese on
Ooh,
Saturday mornings only
perfect.
because synergy.
Sausage, egg, and cheese is the best. Oh,
I've developed into I'm a BEC guy. I'm a bacon, egg, and cheese guy, but that's okay too. They're both great.
they're
Great.
both. I'll alternate days.
So
No
the
problem.
magazine came out a couple weeks ago. Go buy one.
I have one.
We've got Texas 1, Georgia 2, LSU 3, Bama 4, Florida 5, South Carolina 6, all in the top 12. Bunch of other teams ranked. I think top 10 teams ranked. So here's my question for you. You personally, is there a team or two that is higher on your list now, having been there for 3 or 4 days and talking to folks and getting the feeling for the players and the coaches and the experts and the analysis and the debates and the discussions? Is there a team that has moved up your rankings and a team that has moved down your rankings, even if it's just a spot or two based on this week's conversation?
So I alluded to it a little bit. Alabama would be the one that moved up. You could kind of the kids, the body language, the everything. They kind of looked like the bully. They kind of had Proctor walks into the room and he's an eclipse. I mean, he's like a mountain of a human being. There was Kalen DeBoer walked in with a certain kind of vibe that I think was different than we saw, and he kind of exuded this confidence that was not necessarily expected for a guy that was replacing his quarterback and coming into year 2 and didn't really use the portal for the quarterback and all that. And so maybe it's fool's gold, but I think that was the one, at least last night at dinner, that everybody was like, maybe Alabama, like Peter Burns.
Right. I was gonna say,
brought
where
it
did you
up
have
to
him
me.
before, and where do you have him now?
I think I have him 1. I did have him, I think 3 or 4.
Well, moving him to 1 on your ballot is a big move.
I'm not a Texas guy. I'm not. I'm with Spurrier. And when I watched Arch in warmups last year before the Vanderbilt game, I'm like, he's not Quinn Ewers. Like Quinn Ewers may have not been as like physically the part, but he threw a better ball. You know what I mean? Like he threw a better ball. So I'm not exactly convinced that Arch is going to come in and be the savior. I like Alabama. Tennessee's obviously, they got to replace the quarterback. So we're not really sure. Dylan Sampson, not really sure. The team that I came away from the least convinced about was Georgia. And it's because of Gunnar Stockton. And it's not that I don't think Gunner's a great kid, but there's no way in hell that guy's an SEC championship quarterback.
What an
He,
aw shucks dude I've ever seen, if
dude,
I've ever
just
seen.
like, I mean, Rick and I were like, there's no way. Like,
He's like,
there's
he's just
just
like, I saw,
like, he's just, hey guys,
well, like maybe he's one of
good
those
to
like,
see you guys.
maybe
And
he's like
maybe he
super
is.
smart. Yeah, maybe he's super smart behind the scenes. I'm sure he is, but he's just like, man, we got a lot of great
I
players. I'm just
drive
so
my
happy to
truck.
play at Georgia.
Yeah. Like, I guess the quarterback last year had a fancy
Car-
like Ferrari, you
Carson
know,
Beck, yeah.
Carson Beck.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just drive a pickup truck.
F
I don't
one
want a
fifty,
Ferrari. Yeah.
1987.
I don't want a
It's
Ferrari.
it's
I like
brown.
them.
It's a brown truck.
I like them fossil fuels, Paul. I mean, I was like, oh my.
He's just like
Um,
he's just the hugest smile on his face, and he's
he
just like, I'm
just
just so
doesn't
excited.
seem,
So
but guy I'd love to be friends with, but I don't know if that's a champion.
it's one of those where like also the guy took some big shots and could be better than we think because
Good.
of his like I'm low key country tough, and
No,
and I
he's low key country
and
tough now.
I could come in here and I could just I'm just gonna bulldog my way through it. No pun
Yeah.
intended, of course.
Yeah.
I do have questions about Georgia, but I do find the answers to sort of be the same answers as they've always had. Are they as good as they were in 21 and 22? Of course not.
No.
But are they like there's not they don't have more questions than Florida or South Carolina. Wait, Tennessee has way more questions. So I still don't like LSU maybe has more answers. Alabama maybe has more answers. So if you want to drop them to 4, I don't have a problem with that, but they're still clearly better than Florida and South Carolina for now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
It's see, here's the thing, Braden. It's one of like we get into media days and you say, who do you like, who do you not like? I don't know. Like Mark Stoops came in with a completely different offense. They don't even know each other's name.
Yeah.
That's where we're at right now. Like the preseason polls, as irrelevant as they've always been, now it's like, what are you even basing it off of? Just the name? Because you don't even know who the hell's on the team. Like
There's a lot
it's
of
such
trust. A lot of
there's
trust.
a lot of trust in brand, a lot of trust in NIL and it usually lines up. I mean, I'm not naive to that.
It's
Money
the
and
coach.
spending.
I trust the coach.
It's benefit of
It's
the
the
doubt
coach.
is what
It's
it is. Yeah,
Kirby Smart. It's Lane Kiffin
but
offensively to develop Austin
you could
Simmons.
have
Yeah.
a Mike Norvell where they're preseason top
Yeah.
5 and don't win a game in their league.
Yeah.
So that happens too. And I think it just goes to show you that with the way these rosters turn over, I like the ones that were good last year and bring back a decent amount. Like Missouri's got 7 starters back on defense. Now they got to replace some important parts of an offense that got them to 10 wins, but at least they know they know each other. And I think that in this world isn't everything, but it's important.
And a relatively solid schedule. I mean,
Yes.
meaning easier on the easy end of an SEC schedule. Tennessee also
Hmm.
benefits from a
Well,
relatively
Missouri could
easier
be
schedule.
5-0 going into Alabama.
Yeah.
They could be. I mean, I think South Carolina is a challenging game. I forget who else they play, but it's not like the hype could all build again for the
Yeah.
Alabama game.
Yeah. There's no question about it. Who was your favorite player to interview this week? Who just like you're like, man, that guy's so interesting, thoughtful, whatever, most entertaining, funny.
Yeah, favorite player, that's a good question. There was it actually might have been Caden Proctor because he is so polished and just such a nice, humble kid. He's just like, I'm just happen to be enormous, right? Like I just was born this way,
Well, so
but I'm
Midwestern sentiments and sentiment. Yeah.
as oh yeah. And then there was the kid today who's Connor Tollison from Missouri. You would love him because he is a diehard hardcore Green Bay Packer fan.
Oh, all right.
And the second he gave me or that I gave him a whiff that I was a Bears fan, he went in.
Good
He's
for
just
him.
like, how does it
Good
feel
for
to
him.
lose every time? So, and I'm like, you know what? I got nothing to say to you, buddy, because you're right. You're a superior franchise. You're better than us. And that's just, I got nothing to say. I can't
Yeah.
talk a damn bit of
I
trash. I
I
hate you,
I think
but
you're going to be. I really like your offensive combination of coach and
we'll
players
see.
right now. I do
We'll
like that.
see.
For the first time in my lifetime, I'm like,
Maybe ever.
I
Yeah.
kind of like all
Ever.
this stuff that the Bears are
Yeah.
doing.
Like literally ever.
Yeah.
And you've had Hall of Fame quarterbacks your entire lifetime, pretty much. So
All right.
I gave him his credit, but he was like, I love kids like that have they're fans. They love
Yeah.
football. Like
Yeah.
they love the NFL, and those are the fun ones to talk to.
It also brings up a conversation because you know what happens with the timeline and the algorithm. It sort of takes the thing that is the most outrageous and sort of ridiculous and kind of and it rewards that behavior, certainly.
Yes.
Which makes the media guilty of taking the littlest, tiniest things and sort of exploding them into something big. And I would argue that the confidence of a young athlete, I think Tennessee had some players talk like this. Diego Pavia at Vanderbilt certainly talks like this. Like I don't want my players to be like, I know that Nick Saban kind of created robots on purpose, and that was maybe in a different era of media coverage. I just think it's okay for Diego Pavia or for anyone else to say, yeah, my goal is to win every game we play. My goal is to compete for a national championship or an SEC title. And we can step back from that and we can say, well, on paper, the roster and the schedule, but like, it doesn't mean we have to criticize a young person for believing in themselves. Because if I'm Clark Lee, I may and Mitch said this last week on the show, like I may cringe at some of the things he says on a Bussin' with the Boys podcast or in front of the media or whatever at media days, but like that's what makes him a great player. And I don't want, like, sports are supposed to be fun, and being a fan of
a different standard because he's a Vanderbilt player. That's what
it is. But do you think all players are getting sort of held to this, like, please don't say anything about how confident you are, but then they get killed for not being? Or do you think it's
getting held? I think it's him because he's a Vanderbilt player, and people expect Vanderbilt to be, uppity snobs that are, of respectability. He's the most un-Vanderbilt player ever. He might be, quite frankly, one of the dumber Vanderbilt players ever from a pure, like,
wow.
Well, and here's what I mean by it.
I'm going to take your clips out of context now. Chris Chowder says Diego Pavia is dumb.
Well, this is what I found was mystifying. And this is what I was like, oh God, this is a non-Vandy kid. There was an incident I was keeping up with last year that nobody knew was happening, but I just kind of was on social media at the right time. Diego Pavia got on there. There was a shirt that was released, turned, and he was going nuts. Like, this is not mine.
I didn't
don't buy this.
Yeah. I didn't.
It was his.
What's the thing? I didn't. I didn't approve. I didn't approve this legally or whatever. Yeah,
but he did. He signed a contract with his agent that then allowed the agent to go make deals, and one of the deals was with this T-shirt company, who then released an official T-shirt. And Diego then makes, and like 2 days this went on, and the T-shirt company's like, dude, you might need to go talk to your agent, because this is, and like, so to me. You get what I'm saying? Not exactly Vanderbilt.
But it's what makes him a good quarterback.
But a great player, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just think it's okay, because this is the ultimate, like, media and the player thing. Like, we kill a coach for being honest or a player for being honest, and then we complain about not getting enough honesty, right?
Yes.
And it's very much a media problem. But I feel like maybe there's a twist this year. Maybe it's because SEC Media Days is not what it used to be, and it's more sort of sanded down and kind of boring. But I feel like now I'm hearing more media folk just saying, like, yeah, that's the kind of attitude I want my quarterback to have. Is it ridiculous that Vanderbilt can win a national championship? Probably. But, like, I want my quarterback to step to every time he steps on the field to believe he's going to win. Like, that's what I want.
That's what he does.
Yeah, that's what I want.
He gives them a chance. He makes them more relevant than they've ever been, and it's happening at the right time. As all the things, the seas are changing, the tide's changing. You need to position, like 4 years ago, you said kick Vanderbilt out of the league. What do they give, right? But now Diego Pavia had the second biggest scrum. That's what he has.
Yeah.
That's what he has.
He's got the Riz, and he's got that gravity.
He's got the drip, I think they call it.
The gravitational force.
The Riz.
Which quarterback and team got more buzz? DJ Lagway in Florida or Lenora Sellers in South Carolina? Both incredibly smart young quarterbacks.
I think Lenora Sellers, just because he's back last year. They were one of the better teams in the SEC that just barely made out in the playoff. He kind of lit the country on fire. I think for Lagway, there's certainly an excitement as well, but the schedule just brutal. So it's almost like he's really good and they're going to be better, but right, there's always a but when
like Oklahoma,
just based on the schedule. But I think with Lenora Sellers, and maybe there should be a but because it's South Carolina, and to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt might be a fool's errand. But I think he's that good that he's getting that kind of buzz.
Who was your championship pick on your ballot?
Roll Tide. Powell.
I mean, the game, was it Texas, Alabama? Was it LSU, Alabama? Like rematch of the regular season?
Alabama, LSU in the championship game at the end of the season.
They will play
The
in
Nussmeier
Tuscaloosa.
factor.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go. How many SEC teams do you have making the playoff right now?
Four.
I assume that's Texas and Georgia, along with Bama and LSU.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're buying stock in Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Auburn. I know that's a lot of teams, but like that group,
No,
which is that next group. Who do you like to surge? Who do you like to fall?
I'm not buying any stock of those. I think they're all kind of in the same boat. Tennessee, although Heupel made himself a folk hero by telling Nico to get the hell out, they're still like, who are they? I don't know.
Yeah.
So could they be good? Sure, but would I buy it right now? Probably not. What would it be based on? Auburn,
I
they
like
can't be any
Auburn.
worse at quarterback, right?
I like this Auburn team. I don't know
I gotta
why.
tell you though,
Schedule's good.
I am a little concerned, and maybe I shouldn't say this out loud, but I've already gone down the path. But I'm a little concerned about Hugh Freeze.
You're,
I know he's saying, well, he's got some health stuff,
sure.
and he didn't look all that good. Now he said that he's waiting till the end of the season, and his doctors have said they're not worried because he's got cancer. And they said that, they're gonna operate in January, but like, I don't know. That seems to be a big cloud over a human being while
Yeah.
he's trying to coach a football team, you know?
Yeah. No. It is on a human element level. There's no question about that. I will
Well,
say
that's it. Like, and
he
he's,
he didn't look good in the lobby last year or the year before.
yeah, okay. Well, yeah,
But again, it could have been it could be the same stuff. Like
could be.
a lot of
Yeah.
stress. I mean, you age. It's like the presidency. Like you look a lot older when you go when you leave
Mm-hmm.
than when you come in. There's no question that
Mm-hmm.
being a coach in the SEC does the same thing. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, is there a super? I'll let you go, man. Chris Childers, Sirius XM Radio. Make sure you check him out all across the dial, all across the time slots there as well. Is there a team that just is going to absolutely shock people? Like, is Vanderbilt like a 9-win team? Like, what's the team that people are just like, man, I think that's a team that's going to totally shock people? Or am I?
Weirdly enough, it's Vanderbilt that's
Yeah,
getting the most talk,
yeah.
which anchored
Love it.
out.
Gotta love it.
Anchored
Gotta love
out.
it. All right, dude. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Safe travels getting back, and go to ML Rose when you do. It's
I will.
great ranch. They got a
I'll go
new.
tonight.
They have a new hot cheddar cheese curd.
Ooh.
It's a spicy cheese curd.
Ooh. That's right up Main Street for me,
Dangerous.
man. Yeah.
Dangerous.
When you
All
said
right.
hot and cheddar, I'm in. All right, my friend. See you later.
Thank you, Chowders. Good to see you, bud. Thanks for listening,
All right,
everybody.
see you.